Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallava Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallava Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Rangana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Rangana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Koranita Mayapur Sasi Jaya Koranita Jaya Mayapur Sasi Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadra Mai Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Shri Prabhupada ki jai Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai Nidai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol Hare Krishna devotees. So welcome you all, and today we will be continuing Canto 10, Chapter 10. So in the Chapter 9 we saw how Mother Yashoda finally could manage to bind Krishna, and after that, after binding Krishna, Mother Yashoda went for her daily duties, and Krishna was still there, bound, wrapped under the with the vocal. So that was Chapter 10. Ending there, we see there are last two verses explains about there were two sons of Nalkuvera and Manigriv, the sons of Kuvera, and they had done some sinful activities, and because of that they have got curse, and we will discuss about what the curse they have got and what it was, right? So let's read the chapter summary. Chapter 10, the deliverance of the Yamala Arjuna trees. So there are two trees, they are known as Yamala Arjuna trees, or also called as two twin Arjuna trees. This chapter describes how Krishna broke the twin Arjuna trees, from which Nal Kuvera and Manigriva, the sons of Kuvera, then came out. So let me see. If you see the images, yeah. So can you see these images here? So this is how this when Krishna approved this tree. If you see the fourth image, when Krishna approved the tree, these two sons of Kuvera, Nalkuvera and Manigriva, they came out from the tree, and after that they pay obeisances, they pray prayers. Let's see what happens then, and this is the pastime where we're going to start this pastime, from where this Nalkuvera and Manigriva, they were intoxicated and engage in some activities and ignoring Narada Muni. Let's see what goes next in this chapter. So Nalkuvera and Manigriva were great devotee of Lord Shiva, but because of material opulences, they became so extravagant and senseless that one day they were enjoying with naked girls in a lake, and seamlessly walking here and there. Suddenly Narada Muni passed by, but they were so maddened by their wealth and false prestige that even though they saw Narada Muni present, they remained naked and were not even ashamed. In other words, because of opulence and false prestige, they lost their sense of common decency. Of course, it is natural. It is the of course, it is the nature of the material qualities that when one becomes very much opulent in terms of wealth and prestigious position, one loses one's sense of etiquette and does not care about anyone, even says like Narada Muni. For such bewildered persons, Ahankara Vimudhatma, who especially deride devotees, the proper punishment is to be again stricken with poverty. The Vedic rules and regulations prescribe how to control the false sense of prestige by practice of yama and niyama and so on. Tapasa brahmacharyena samena cha damena cha. A poor man be convinced very easily that the prestige of an opulent position in this material world is temporary, but a rich man cannot. Therefore, Narada Muni set an example by cursing these two persons, Nalakvi and Manigriva, to become dull and unconscious like trees. This was a fit punishment, because Krishna is always merciful, even though they were punished, they were fortunate enough to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. Therefore, the punishment given by a Vaishnava is not a punishment at all. Very important line. Rather, it is another kind of mercy. By the curse of the Devas in Narada Muni, Nalakvi and Manigriva became twin Arjuna trees and remained in the courtyard of Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj, waiting for the opportunity to see Krishna directly. Lord Krishna, by the desire of his devotee, uprooted these Arjuna trees, and when Nalakvi and Manigriva were thus delivered by Krishna after 100 years of Devas, their old consciousness revived, and they offered Krishna prayers suitable to be offered by the demigods. Having thus gotten the opportunity to see Krishna face to face, they understood how merciful Narada Muni was, and therefore they expressed their indebtedness to him and thanked him. Then, after the circumambulating the Supreme Lord, Krishna, they departed for their respective abodes. So this is a very summary of this chapter. Prabhupada provides a summary of the chapter, what happens. But let's see, go one by one the verses to understand more about this. The first verse, Sirajo Vacha कथयतां भगवन् एतत् सापश्य कारणम् एतत्तयो शापस्य कारणं यत्तद् विग्रहितं कर्म येन वा देवर्षेस्तमः. Yes, Rupesh Prabhu, can you please read first translation?
Hare Krishna. King Parikshit inquired from Sukadev Goswami, O great and powerful saint, what was the cause of Nalakuvaras and Manigriva's having been cursed by Narada Muni? What did they do that was so abominable that even Narada, the great sage, became angry at them? Kindly describe this to me.
I'll just go back to the previous chapter a bit and just to recap the last two verses. So if you see, in the last two verses it's been described that while Mother Yashoda was very busy, so Sukadeva Goswami describing to Parikshit Maharaj, saying that while Mother Yashoda was very busy with household affairs, the Supreme Lord Krishna observed these twin trees known as Yamala Arjuna, which in the former millennium had been the demigod sons of Kuvera. In their former birth, these two sons, known as Nalakvir and Manigriva, were extremely opulent and fortunate, but because of the pride and false prestige, they did not care about anymore, and thus Narad Muni cursed them to become trees. So, as Sukadev Goswami explains about that Narad Muni cursed them to become trees, so Parikshit Maharaj asked very first questions here, saying that, "Oh, Sukadev Goswami, could you kindly tell me that what happened that this great sage like Narada Muni, who can never become angry, he became angry at them. So kindly describe this to me. So I mean, what are the what action did perform? Like what kind of abominable act they did this Nalaku and Manigriva performed so that even Narada Muni he became angry. Right. So that was a question by Parshit Maharaj. And let's see what goes next. Sri Sukavacha रुद्रस्यानुचारौ भूत्वा श्रुतप्तौ धनात्मजौ धनदात्मजौ कैलासोपने रम्ये मन्दाकिन्यं मदोत्कतौ वारुणीमदिरां पीत्वा मदागुर्नितलोचनौ स्त्रीजनैरनुगायाभिश्चेरतौ पुष्पिते वने. Yeah, Niveta Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sukadev Goswami said, O King Parikshit, because the two sons of Kuvera had been elevated to the association of Lord Shiva, of which they were very much proud, they were allowed to wander in a garden attached to the Kailasha hill on the bank of Mandakini river. Taking advantage of this, they used to drink a kind of liquor called Varuni. Accompanied by women singing after them, they would wander in that garden of flowers, their eyes always rolling in intoxication.
Yeah, so what happened? These two sons of Kuvera, Nalakuvera and Manigriva, they were very, very elevated because of the association of the Lord Shiva. And and uh, and that elevation has made them proud, and they were all allowed to wander in the garden attached to Kailasa hill on the bank of Mandakini river. So Mandakini river beside the Kailas hill, they can, because of the association with Lord Shiva, they could roam around anywhere over there. And taking advantage of this is basically, it's like, someone has given you some kind of space, so you are trying to enter everything over there, right? So taking that advantage of this, they used to drink a kind of liquor called Varuni, and accompanied by women singing after them, they would wander in that garden of flowers, their eyes always rolling in intoxication. So their son of Kuvera, they have all the opulences of riches, and also they were elevated by the association of Lord Shiva, and they used to drink liquor called as Varuni and associate with the woman, and they generally wander in the garden of flowers, right? And let's see what happened next. So Prabhupada says the purport that this verse mentions some of the material advantages afforded to persons associated with or devoted to Lord Shiva. Apart from Lord Shiva, if one is devotee of any other demigod, one receives some material advantages. Foolish people therefore become devotee of the demigods. This has been pointed out and criticized by Lord Krishna in Bhagavad Gita 7:20. Kamaistaistai jnana prapatante anya devata. So this is a nice, actually very, chapter 7, I would say, if we have not read Bhagavad Gita properly, then chapter 7 and chapter 9 must be written very nicely, verse by verse, word by word. It's very, very important chapters, chapter 7 and chapter 9. And then goes to 12, the next one, 15, the next one. But I mean, anyway, all the chapters, even chapter number 1 is very important. But this chapter 7, is discussed much more about uh, our our mood of worship, and how people they surrender to Krishna, how people don't surrender to Krishna, what are the reason of surrender to demigod, and what fruit we get, and what happens over there. This everything described in chapter 7 and chapter 9. This both chapters goes hand in hand in the same concept in both the chapters actually. So it's being described as kama because of the desire, and as per the desire, they prapadante, they accept or they surrender unto anya devatas, or they worship different kind of devatas. Right? If you go there, let's see the whole translation. He says, those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desire surrender unto demigod and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own nature. So according to own nature, the people is to follow whatever they want and desire, like that, right? So those who are not devotees of Krishna have taste for women, wine, and so forth, and therefore they have been described as Hritajnana. Hritajnana means bereft of sense, or whose knowledge has been stolen, bereft of sense. The Krishna consciousness movement can very easily point out such foolish person, for they have been indicated in Bhagavad Gita 7:15, where Lord Krishna says, Namam duskritino mudha prapadante naradhama maya apratya jnanam ashurim bhavam ashrita. So those miscreants who are grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake of the atheistic nature of the demons, do not surrender unto me. What they do? They do prapadante. Yes, so they do prapadante to anya devata. These are the four kind of people. Namam duskritano mudha. So they do not surrender unto Krishna. They are called, these are the four wings: grossly foolish, lowest among mankind, whose knowledge is stolen by illusion, and who partake in the atheistic nature of the demons. They do not surrender unto me. That Krishna clearly explains in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 7. Anyone who is not a devotee of Krishna and does not surrender to Krishna must be considered Naradhama, Nara Adhama, or the human being, or the lowest of man, Adhama, right? Who doesn't follow Dharma. And Duskriti, one who always commits sinful activities. Thus, there is no difficulty in finding out who is third class or fourth class man, for one's position can be understood simply by the crucial test: is he or is he not a devotee of Krishna? Even it's been described, the Bhagavatam says, even if you're a desire, then also it's worth to surrender to Lord Krishna than to go towards Lord any other devatas. However, as the point have came up in this purport reading, it's to be understood very clearly that this is not disrespecting the devatas. It's understanding that the devatas are working on the instructions of Lord Krishna and taking shelter of Krishna. And also even described that devatas, they become very happy when we ask them, please show me the path, how can I surrender to Lord Krishna? Like, no, if you see in the Pracheta's pastimes, Lord Shiva, he just speaks about the glory of Lord Krishna in Rudra Gita, right? And he wants to make people to be devotee of the Lord. And he always says to Mother Parvati, Rama Rama Rameti Ramo Rame Manonama. So he always says, chant the holy name of the Lord Rama, right? So that's the point. It's not about disrespecting, it's about understanding their position and respecting at this time and asking them what is good for him. Asking the devatas that, can I get some good job, good opulent, good wife, good family, good money. These are kind of, everything is attached to this body. As soon as the body finishes, everything finishes, right? So, but when we take shelter of Krishna, even though if we have desire, if we take shelter of Krishna, Krishna fulfills the desire accordingly, and at the same time he approves the material desire from the heart. So even if we get the material boons from the devatas, what happens is our desire increases. Our desire of the material things get increases. But when we take shelter of Krishna and the desire get fulfilled, our desire of material hankering goes down. Right. Okay. Then why are devotees of the demigod greater in number than Vaishnavas? A question can be raised. And the answer is given in here. Herein, Vaishnavas are not interested in such fourth class pleasure in such as wine and women, nor does Krishna allow them such facilities. So Krishna knows what is good and bad for us. So Krishna provides us accordingly. As yesterday we are discussing in Upanishad. So what a devotee need, what a devotee, what thing is beneficial for the devotees to take shelter of Krishna, to progress ahead in the path of bhakti. Krishna provide that. And if that thing is something which is obstacle for the devotees to take ahead, Krishna breaks it, stops it. Right. So that's the understanding of the devotees. Okay. So let's go to the text. Next verse, text 4. Anta pravishya gangayam अम्बोजवनराजिनी छिक्रीदातोर्युवतीभिर् गजौ एव करेणुभिः. Atoi Krishna Prabhu, can you please read translation? Atoi Krishna Prabhu. Okay. Krishna Prabhu, can you please read translation?
Sorry, Prabhu, I was busy. Within the waters of the Mandakini Ganges, which were crowded with gardens of lotus flowers, the two sons of Kuvera would enjoy young girls, just like two male elephants enjoying in the water with female elephants.
So, what happened after they were intoxicated with wine, and they used to freely roam around the garden because they were having kind of very near to Lord Shiva. So what happened one day? They within that water of Mandakini Gangas, which were crowded with gardens of lotus flowers. Thus, two sons of Kuvera they would enjoy young girls, just like two male elephants enjoying in the water with the female elephant. So they were enjoying uh, intoxicated and with the woman in the water of Mandakini river. So people generally go to the Ganga to be purified of the effects of sinful life. But there is an example of how foolish persons enter the Ganges to become involved in sinful life. It is not that everyone becomes purified by entering the Ganga. Everything, spiritual and material, depends on one's mental condition. Right. So that's very important. Our mental consciousness, the the place, the consciousness by which we enter Dhama or these holy rivers, that's very important as well. uh, Even the Sabari Muni, he was practicing yoga in the water, but he saw he saw two fish being coupled, and then he has a desire, and then he just wanted to get married. So the consciousness is very, very important. And even when we go to Dhamma, this will be our consciousness, that how can we hear the glories of the Lord, associate with the devotees, rather than thinking about how can I get a good hotels to be there, and how can I get some good food and things like that. So the consciousness is much, much important. So these two sons of Kuvera, they were enjoying intoxicated with the girls in the Mandakini river. Text 5. यदृच्छया च देवर्षि भगवांस्तत्र कौरव अपश्यान्नारदो देवौ शिवन्नौ शिवाणौ संबुद्धयत्. Yes, Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So Maharaja Parikshit, By some auspicious opportunity for the two boys, the great Saint Devarshi Narada once appeared there by chance. Seeing them intoxicated with rolling eyes, he could understand their situation. Hare Krishna.
Can you imagine? So, what Sukadeva Goswami is saying here? Saying that by some auspicious opportunity of the two boys, they were the son of Kuvera, they were very opulent and they were very elevated by the association of the Lord Shiva. And now, because of due to some auspicious opportunity of these two boys, it means what? They were going down, their consciousness going down because of intoxication and connection with the women. This great saint Devarshi Narada Muni appeared there by chance. So once Narada Muni appeared there by chance, and for what? For the auspicious opportunity for these two boys. So the point is, when these great devotees of the Lord and acharyas, and then the great saintly people, when they meet some people, these are actually, they bring auspiciousness to this person itself. Right? I'll just go back to another verse from Canto 3, chapter 5. If I'm not wrong, yep. Yeah, this verse, text 3. No, sorry. Give me 1 second. Yeah, you see this one, text number 2. Sukhaya karmani karoti loke na te sukham vanya duparambha. So what happens here? He says, Vidura said, O great says, everyone in this world engages in fruitive activities to attain happiness, but one finds neither satiation nor the mitigation of distress. On the contrary, one is only aggravated by such activities. Please therefore give us direction on how one should live for real life, for real happiness. And then he says that, O my Lord, great philanthropic souls, they travel on the earth on behalf of the Supreme Personality of Godhead to show compassion to the fallen souls who are averse to the sense of subordination to the Lord. So this great soul, they travel across this globe just to elevate the fallen souls. Right? In also in one place it's been described that when the sadhus they come to our house, right, for alms, right, saying okay viksham dehi. So I mean, they generally they don't want to get viksha, but it's actually they give us the blessings, right? They elevate our consciousness. It's not about all the mendicants who come to beg. It's about the real, the bona fide souls, a great devotee of the Lord who travel on the earth on behalf of the Lord, just to show compassion the fallen souls, right? That's what happened here. This Narada Muni, he came by chance. Anyway, it's not by chance, but it's a plan. But he came for the auspicious opportunity of these two boys who were intoxicated. And then by seeing they are intoxicated with rolling eyes, Narada Muni could understand the situation very well. Right, let's see. Let's go more. Prabhupada's quotes from Chaitanya Charitamrita says, it is said, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Koy, Law Mata Sadhu Sangha Sarva Siddhi Hoy. So, Sadhu Sangha Sarva Shastra Koy, all the Shastras talks about please associate with the sadhus. And what says Lava Matra? If you remember, we are discussing Canto 3 earlier. Lava is an time. This is basically 8 by 15th of second. That's fractional second. Lava Matra, Sadhu Sangha. If we associate with those sadhus, even for a fraction of seconds, what's happened? It says Sarva Siddhi Hoy. We get all the siddhis. It means it's all beneficial for us itself. So a person associating with the sadhus is actually benefiting for himself. So in a similar way, when the sadhus comes to our house, We should very proudly give something to them and ask for blessings so that we can take shelter of Krishna. Whenever Narada Muni goes, any moment at which he appears is understood to be extremely auspicious. Extremely auspicious. And Prabhupada quotes another verse. He says, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Lata Bij. So in this whole universe, Brahmanda, if you go around this whole universe, 14 planet system, who is the Bhagyavan? Who is the Bhagyavan means who is very fortunate? The Jiva. Who is the fortunate Jiva? He says, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai, who get the mercy of Guru and Krishna. What it gets, what the result of getting this mercy of Guru and Krishna? The one who get Bhakti Lata Bij, who get the seed of devotion in his heart. And that seed, by nourishment of reading Shastras, associating the devotees, regular kirtan, and chanting the holy name, that seed grows higher, and this seed takes us back to the Golok Vrindavan. Right? That's the seed is being given to the jiva by the mercy of Guru and Krishna. So the jiva is the one who plays a vital role here, and if he has a kind of bona fide, if his intentions are correct, if he really wanted to get away from these pangs of material world, then Krishna, as Chaitya Guru within his heart as Paramatma, he guides him towards the right Guru, and then as Krishna guides him towards the right Guru, then Guru guides him back towards Krishna, how to take the process to get Krishna. So it's both, like Krishna within our heart first guides us to get a shelter of a bona fide Guru. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya upadachite jnanam jnani tattvata darshina. And then Krishna guides us to go toward there. And Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna, go to a bona fide spiritual master, take shelter of him, serve him, and inquire him submissively, and he will guide you how to get Krishna. And so that Guru gives us the knowledge about Krishna, that's the mercy, and by which he talks about bhakti, and then he gives the seed of devotion in our heart, and by regular Sravanam Kirtanam, the seed grows more and more and more and goes back to the Golok Vrindavan. So according to their karma, all living entities are wandering throughout the entire universe. Some of them are being elevated to the upper planet system, and some are going down into the lower planet system. Out of many millenniums of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with the bona fide spiritual master. I'll repeat this line again. Out of many millions of wandering living entities, one who is very fortunate gets an opportunity to associate with a bona fide spiritual master by the grace of Krishna. And by the mercy of both Krishna and a spiritual master, such a person receives the seed of creeper of devotional service. Chaitanya Madhurila 19:151. And Narada appeared in the garden to give the two sons of Kuvera the seed of devotional service, even though they were intoxicated. Saintly persons know how to bestow mercy upon the fallen soul. Right? So the point is, though they were intoxicated, they were engaged in sinful activities with the woman and intoxicated. They were nearly ignoring Narada Muni, but still Narada Muni, he wanted to give them the seed of devotion, right? Seed of devotional service. He just ignored that, okay, they are intoxicated. It's a compassion. He's a compassion saying that, okay, anyway, they have got into this, but I think I need to pull them out, right? I need to pull them out. I need to give something higher taste to them so that they won't engage in these activities anymore, right? Thinking that, Narada Muni, see what he does. Okay, we'll take one more verse, or if you have any quick questions, we can discuss. Otherwise, we'll take one more verse. Okay, let's see one more verse then today. Text number 6. तं दृष्ट्वा वृद्धिता देव्यो विवस्त्रासापसङ्किता वशांसि प्रयर्धो शीघ्रं विवस्त्रौ नैव गुह्यकौ. Yeah, tell Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Upon seeing Narada, the naked young girls of the demigods were very much ashamed. Afraid of being cursed, they covered their bodies with their garments. But the two sons of Kuvera did not do so. Instead, not caring about Narada, they remained naked. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
so this is again. So Narada Muni came there, but just imagine they knew very well the position of Narada Muni. These ladies, they covered their bodies with garments, and they felt ashamed. These young girls, they felt ashamed by seeing Narada Muni. They covered the bodies with their garments. However, the two sons of Kuvera, they did not care at all. Instead, not caring about Narada, they remained naked in front of Narada Muni. So, by seeing all these things, okay, we'll discuss it tomorrow from there, from text 7. Anyone have any quick questions, thoughts, comment, want to share something, please. And I was just
Yeah.
want to share one more thing, like about when we discuss about taking shelter of the devatas and Krishna. So there's nice verse comes in Bhagavatam, like akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi tibrana bhakti yogena yajite purusham para. So that what does mean is akama, if we have no desire, or sarva kamava, if you have unlimited desires, full of desires, a long list of desires. First akama, no desire. Second, it says sarva kama, you have full desires. Akama sarva kama va moksha kama, if we desire for liberation. So three things: either no desire, full list of desire, or moksha, toward liberation. Even in all these three cases, what he says, Bhagavatam says is akama sarva kama va moksha kama udaridi tibrena bhakti yogena yajate purusham param. So even if that no desire, full of desire, want and liberation, in any case, just worship Lord Krishna very enthusiastically, right? With full flays, just worship the lotus feet of Krishna. Right, that's what I wanted to share, but I somehow or other missed the time. So it's always good to take shelter of Krishna rather than going towards demigods, because as chapter 7 explains, whatever the boon we get from them, these are all material. However, if we are attached to some devatas, some demigod, we can worship them, and then we can ask them, could you please guide us towards the devotion of Lord Hari, or can you give the best? In in the one of the story is been described like a small child, right? And a small child, he came to a party, and then he the host, he said, okay, take as many chocolates you want. And the child was still putting his hand in his pocket. He did not taking out at all. And then the host says, it's all you, as much as you want, you can take it. But still, the child was not taking his out hand. But as soon as the host, he took out all these chocolates in his hand and gave to the child, then child started picking up, holding it and putting in his pocket. The point was, the child was intelligence is, if I take out some chocolate from my hand, I might grab just 2 or 3 or 4. But if someone is else, adult, he's giving out, he's going to give me more. So this point is, so if we ask something from devatas, we do not know what are we asking. It's very, very small things. But if we ask devata, can you please provide what the best thing for you, and what you think the best is for me, then they can give us something higher. Right? It just asks them, please guide us what the best for me. I know I have all this long list of desires, but you know more than me, so please guide me what the best for me, and definitely they will guide us. There are so many stories, pastimes where we have seen the devotees being guided by the devatas to take shelter of Lord Hari. Right. So that's how I think I was going to share this point earlier as well. Okay, if we have no questions, we'll stop today here and I'll back tomorrow and continue
I
from.
do, Prabhu, if there is time, but it won't be very quick.
Okay.
First of all, I wanted to ask two quick questions about Nalakuvera and the trees they became. But because of the very nice point you just made just now, it just gave me a realization, and I'd like you to correct me on this. It was just an epiphany. Do you remember I asked you the other day why Krishna doesn't just reveal to all the other devtas to tell their devotees that he's Supreme Personality? Why he keeps it a mystery? You remember I asked this?
Yeah.
Today, after what you just said, I just had a speculative realization that maybe all the devotees that have asked their devtas, whether it's a Muslim asking Allah, or whether it's some other race, for asking for the higher worship, they have then gone on to become Krishna devotees. Because I think I remember now, is it Rupa Goswami, if I remember correctly, or some other devotees, they were actually Muslim born and they have become our Goswamis. Is that right? Or something in those lines?
No, so Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, these are two brothers. They were not Muslim born. They were actually born in a Brahmana family, but however, they have been working for a Muslim king, and they were so much working in that, they have learned all this Arabic and everything, and there is so much associated with them, though their name became changed. Is Davir Khas, and that's how they turned into Muslim. They were not Muslim, but they started following everything about Muslims. So that's it is. But eventually, uh, when they met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they gave up everything, and then these are our two prominent Goswamis, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami, and who kind of revived the whole Vrindavan what we see now.
Right. But still, in other lifetimes, they might have been other religions that they've been fortunate enough to come onto the path of Krishna consciousness, isn't it?
Yeah, these are our Goswamis. They are kind of like, if you remember, some days back we were discussing about Nitya Siddha and Nitya Baddha, right? Conditioned soul and elevated soul. So these Goswamis, though they were playing a part of working as a management and cashier in a Muslim king, but they are Nitya Siddhas. They were just playing the part over there. So they are kind of eternal associate of Mahaprabhu. They always there. When time came, they went back serving Krishna's plan.
Right.
Haridas Thakur was Muslim.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Thakur Muslim. Yeah.
I thought I heard something. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Haridas Thakur was again incarnation of Lord Brahma. So again, yes, Haridas Thakur was Muslim, and then I mean, there are so many, if it's even in the Muslims, like, there are so many devotees who have been singing glories of Krishna unlimitedly. Haridas Thakur, see, he was born in Muslim, but he is our Namacharya. Can you imagine it?
Right.
Namacharya of our parampara. He used to chant 3 lakhs names every single day. Right?
Yeah.
Right.
That absolutely shows you the power of the true supreme God, huh?
Yeah.
But,
So that's why it says, this holy name is for everyone. It's not, there is no foundation of a caste, country, and anything. It's a religion. It's a higher thing. It's not for religion. It's more higher than that. It's for every single one, because is the dharma of all the jivas. Sabe pumsam paro dharma yato bhakti radakshajay. It's for all the jivas, not for any kind of it's only for Hindu or Muslim, or no, it's not that. It's for every single one, every single living entity.
no, absolutely. That's what I was thinking. For all the good people out there, doesn't matter what their culture, caste, religion,
Yeah.
So there must have been some accumulated excellent karma for them to even come on this platform to be shown the path to Krishna consciousness. Yeah, Prabhu, my other two questions initially
Yeah.
on Manigriva and Narakuvera, of all other lesser abominable persons in those times than Nalakuvera and Manigriva, why these two sons? What's so special about them to have got mercy of a curse from Narada Muni, therefore fortunate enough to attain Krishna's mercy above everyone else to both witness the Mudara Lila as the trees they became and therefore become freed by it?
Yeah.
Is it? I
It will
mean,
come.
there were other Shiva
Yeah.
devotees at the time. There were demigods' sons. Yes, fair enough. But why them out of all the others, less abominable souls?
Yeah, so it will come in just in maybe in a couple of maybe some 5 6 verses we'll see this point again, and
Okay.
why. So in a brief to answer your questions, what happened is when Narada Muni saw these two the sons being engaged in this way, he cursed, and as soon as he cursed, see we just read that when Lord Narada Muni came, the girls they covered their bodies. However, Nalakuva and Manigriva they didn't. And when they got cursed by Narada Muni, which is coming in a very soon, they realized that okay, we did something wrong here, and then they surrendered to Narada Muni. And when they surrendered to Narada Muni, saying that please excuse us, when they begged for excuse, then Narada Muni said, okay, in my curse, I can't take my curse back anyway, but I'm giving you blessings. The blessing is that you will be able to see the pastime of Krishna, all his Balya Leela. Even that is not being possible for many devatas. So you will be fortunate to see this. So the learning is when we commit some kind of this kind of mistakes, and if someone is trying to clarify us, teach us, rather than retaliate, rather than arguing, we should submissively accept that okay, we have done these mistakes. That's the learning comes from. So by taking shelter of Narada Muni as a great devotee of the Lord, they could able to see all the pastimes of Krishna. And when they became the two trees, Arjuna trees, Yamala Arjuna trees, they could, by the blessings of Narada Muni, they could remember the past lives and they could see everything what Krishna is doing in the pastimes over there. We'll discuss it more when it comes up, Prabhu.
That's amazing. But why it must have been preordained by Narada. I mean, these things didn't happen by accident. Narada came down to bless them on purpose, curse them on purpose. Why those two personalities? Who were they in their last lives? I mean, why them two? Do you see what I'm getting at?
Yes. I'll try to find out who they were in the last lives, but as of now, they were the purpose teaches us that the Kuvera is the one who is the most richest person, and he is the one who the kind of manages the whole wealth of Krishna, right? Kuvera. So he is
Okay.
one, and his sons more opulent. In a similar way, in this material world, when we get some money, we get popped up, and the people or the parents who has more money, the child is nearly kind of they misuse those monies, right? That's why maybe I think that's why the Kuvera's sons were being chosen to teach lessons for us.
Hmm. And Arjuna trees are medicinal trees, very auspicious trees. So that was going to be my next question. Why Arjuna trees, no other trees?
Yes, so they have been given a boon by Narada Muni to become Arjuna tree, so that you can see the Balya Leela of Krishna by being in the tree.
Right. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so thanks for joining, and we'll stop today here, and we'll see tomorrow from next for 6 or 7. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव
Jai,
की जय.
Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna.